All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the second installment of Crafty Mess. This is where we craft, chat, and most importantly, talk about the hottest topics that's happening on social media, YouTube, Instagram, all the stuff, and of course, pop culture. So I have my awesome co-host here, Mel. And Mel, what are you crafting today? Are you still working on the blanket from last week?
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before I get to a next project because I have this to finish off, but then I have another skein. It's supposed to be like three skein long. So, but yeah, I kind of can't wait until this is over because I've been doing this forever.
But it's like really chunky, so it looks like it's going by really fast. Because last week when you
Yeah,
showed us, it was so much smaller.
so it's going by pretty quickly. I think like by maybe two streamings later, I should have it done.
Is
So
it
we'll
just gonna be
see.
that one color, or are you gonna like add a
Yeah,
different
it's just
block to
no,
it?
it's gonna be this one color. And what are you doing?
So I am also working on kind of the same thing I did last week, which is the crepe paper flowers, but this is the cherry blossoms
Yeah,
that I'm
I
making
love the
today.
cherry blossom. I saw that on your Instagram. That was
Yes,
so cool.
yes, it's really pretty. And I started it in January, and I'm really trying to finish it now because I think next week is Lunar New Year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Next, it's the 12th. Wait,
Yeah.
is it? Yeah, it's the 12th. Oh, it's a Friday. I have a mental list I need to do before before Lunar New Year.
Well, I mean, it's also like 2 weeks long. So if you don't hit the 12, you can still
No,
like,
no, there's a specific thing that is not
oh,
like it's
really?
yeah, like I don't know, some people do it and some people don't, but I specifically had these in my I use it like I kept it as a tradition for me to pass it each year. But there are certain things like you need to do before New Year's Day, and that is
Sweet.
you don't wash your hair. Like you wash your hair the day before and you have to vacuum the day before because apparently if you wash your hair the day of, then you're washing away all the luck that comes with the new year. And then if you vacuum, same thing, you're vacuuming all the luck on New Year's Day. So those two are the only things that I kept with me. There are a few other things too. I think on New Year's Day you're supposed to have like oranges, like clementine.
Yeah.
That's for good luck. Like I think it's like either prosperity or something like that.
And
So
like
there are
chrysanthemum.
certain things that you took away. Do you do anything?
Well, now that I have, a little tiny baby here, I've been
Yeah.
trying to incorporate more like Lunar New Year stuff. So
Yeah.
I send out like little red envelopes to all the babies and the kids that I know.
Yeah.
It's gonna get expensive. Like after
It
knowing like
does.
15 kids are just like, oh, okay. And you can't give out $4 bills because it's bad luck. So,
Yes, that's
you know,
true.
and I don't
Well,
want to do two.
should we tell them why it's bad
Yeah.
luck?
Oh, yeah, because four is like in
In
Chinese, right? Or Mandarin,
Chinese.
which means
Yeah, Mandarin.
yeah,
Right.
Mandarin. It means death. So you're not supposed to be giving death to people. So either it's
Right.
and you're supposed to give even numbers too, right? It's
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
luck. Yeah. So like I didn't want to do $2 bills, so I then you have to skip the four. So I'm like giving out $6 to all the kids, and like when 15 of them, it's like okay, it's gonna add up here. Like
You
you
give
get
them to you give them to your neighbor's kids?
no, like all the kids that I know that
Who do
are
who do you know in the area?
no, not my neighbors, like my friends' kids. Did I say
Oh, okay, okay. I was
my
like, you are so
friends' kids?
generous.
No. Those kids get Christmas goodie bags,
Okay,
okay?
good. That's so cute. That is so
Different.
cute. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's what I've been trying to do, and I think this year I might actually go get like a couple of chrysanthemum pots, and then I wanted to make the cherry blossom branch, so then I can use it year after year
Oh,
and
yeah,
decorate it like a Christmas tree, but our cherry blossom tree instead. So
yeah.
that's what I'm working on here, and I really want to finish it because I know a lot of people have been asking on Instagram how I make them, and
Right.
I've been trying to post the tutorials there. So that's what we're doing here
Yeah, I
today.
saw. And you know, like the other tradition too is like once you get married, you are not supposed to be receiving any red envelopes from your
I know.
parents.
Hence
So
why I'm still not married.
I right, milk them for all you got. But I'm like thinking like, should we make a tradition where we actually give red envelopes to our boyfriends? Like, I think that'd be cute, wouldn't it? But I don't know. I don't want to give money because I feel like that might be a little bit crass,
Yeah, yeah.
like to a boyfriend. So I'm like now I'm trying to think like maybe a lottery ticket,
Ooh. Oh, ooh, I do like that idea.
right?
Like a little scratch off or something.
Yeah, like a little scratch off. Like I think that would be cute. Maybe I'll do that for his kids too.
I was thinking like if that's the case, and let's say he wins a lot of money, technically, since you're the one that bought it and you have the receipt, you own it, so you can just say,
I think that's automatic share. I think that's like a 50% automatic, like, I don't care. Yeah, so true. I bought the ticket.
yeah, exactly, because you technically own it. It's your
No,
property.
we've talked about it. We've talked about it. He said like, he would split it or something like that. I don't know. I might have to have him promise me before I give it to him.
The lottery ticket idea is actually really cute because you can't just hand over cash. Just like, all right, what am I gonna do with $2? You know?
Yeah. Oh shoot. Now if he watches this, he's gonna know what I'm up to. Oh man, I like surprising him with things.
You
Oh
actually
well.
watched this, really?
He said he's watched the last, not all of it, but he watched the last one
Aw.
just a little bit, so
Aw.
which is cute. He's very supportive.
Oh, he knows why you're gone. You're not chatting with him for an hour every Friday
We
now.
actually don't talk that much during the day. We just like we catch up during the evening.
Uh-huh.
And I saw him last night and this morning. So
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's get started.
Okay. So, I think on Monday you texted me and you're just like, "There's these topics I must talk about." So I was like, "Done. I don't have to do any work this week on research." I was like, "We're writing
Yeah,
those topics."
we realized that when we talked, it pretty much took like the whole hour just based on two topics. So
I
I think we're kind of limiting ourselves to two topics. But then I think like we might actually touch on three topics because something else fell on our laps this week. So
we'll just like get our toes like dip right into it and then dip right out if the water is too cold. There's a lot has been going on this week, I feel like, and then I mean even like the last half last week too, it just carried over.
I find
But
it really weird that there's always drama each week.
I'm just saying people are it's panorama. People are getting bored. Emotions and tensions are high. Anything is can be very I mean, it's even like affected me to the point that I started this this channel. I'm like, I need to talk to someone
You
about
drag
all the
me
shenanigans.
into
Yeah, and
it.
we've talked about this for a year
We
now,
did. Yeah,
but we
yeah, yeah.
never, yeah, because I like was always flaky and never like jumped on it, and then
No,
um
we said we were going to talk. We said we were going to set this up after your wedding, but then your
after my
wedding
wedding,
didn't happen. So
because yeah, so then
yeah,
we never made a new like date. Yeah,
right. Yeah, because we said that because I thought like oh, this will be perfect because maybe we could start streaming on the cruise because we're both together, and that didn't happen because of the pandemic. So yeah,
yeah.
but
But
I'm glad that you brought this up again.
I know. It's fun. It's fun so far. So I've been enjoying it.
Me too.
So, all right. I'm going to have Mel lead the first topic, but before we
Yeah.
do, I do encourage you guys to kind of like, check out other information, come up with your own opinions. Keep in mind that these are just our opinions. We're watching things unfold as it happens.
Mhm.
They're not facts. We're just seeing what is out there and just talking about it. Just a bunch of girls sitting here crafting and chatting away. And
Mhm.
go ahead, Mel.
So the thing that came up that I thought was very interesting was Zoella. She got pretty much criticized for supporting something on her social channel. I think her team sent it out, but she was on board with it, and it revolved around sex toys, which I didn't find it to be offensive because I don't actually know Zoella that well, but from what I gather, she's a very it seems like a very like good head on her shoulder type of girl, and I'm pretty sure she probably started really young, so her fan base were also young. But as years grow, they also grew with her, like grew up with her. So for her to actually talk about sex toys, which is really natural these days. You know, like why do we have to make it to be such a faux pas kind of topic? Because it shouldn't be. Like I think a lot of times I wish when I was younger that people talked about these things, and me not finding out like so late in the game, you know what I mean? Like I would have loved to hear more of my girlfriends talking about it versus like being so, you know, quiet. And yeah, she got criticized saying this is like very inappropriate. Don't they know, doesn't she know that, you know, she has like young audiences? But she really doesn't. She has audiences that actually grew up with her. So if anything, they're probably around the same age as her, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah, like I don't think that she should have been censored. Like that's her platform to talk about it, and she is welcome to say anything. And I mean, I would love to know what are the best sex toys out there in the market. Like who does it?
Well, here's my thing. I think there's two things that kind of bothered me about that whole situation is that first
Yeah.
of all, we are censoring female pleasure, which women we're also, you know, people who enjoy sex because it's
Hmm.
natural, right? I think it's
Yes.
very normal for us to talk, like for men to just always talk about that stuff, and it's okay. But
Yeah.
for women, we that like that's such a taboo topic, which I don't think is okay. I agree that may like obviously I wouldn't share it with like an 8 or 9 year old. I think there's discretion there, but
Of course.
you know, like you know, when you're older and you're actually sexually active, I would think it's safer to look into a toy versus like going out willy nilly finding some random
Yeah.
dude, you know. So I don't know. I guess it's a parental thing. Like with me as a parent, would I want my 7 or 8 year old daughter to know about that? Like, obviously not. I still want her to be playing like jump rope or whatever. But let's say when she does get to a point where she is sexually active, and she needs to know information or whatnot. Like, I'm not gonna shy away from that because I think it's important to not make a sexually active woman feel shamed for those kind of things,
Right.
right? And I think that's what it
Right.
was. It was shaming for enjoying pleasure or talking about pleasure.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, it totally rubbed me the wrong way, and I was just like, "Oh hell no, we need to like shed
yeah,
our opinions over this because it's just yeah, it's not cool to be yeah, shaming another person based on the things that we enjoy. I mean, face it, everyone has sex. We, you know, like obviously there are certain ages that is probably more appropriate,
no,
but her audiences
no.
are
Mine is immaculate conception. That's where my daughter came from. Shh, don't tell people.
okay, KL. You and I got pretty close, and I don't think we would have gotten close if we hadn't talked about sex, okay? And we
That's true.
both are pretty open when it came to that, which I'm glad because I feel like if you can't talk to your girlfriends about these things, who the hell do you talk to? You're not gonna talk to your boyfriend. I mean, you can,
Definitely
but
not. I
at some
mean, yeah.
yeah, but
I mean,
I feel like girlfriends, we really like were at least bonded that way, and we know, you know, certain things that we like are that are free to talk to that it won't be as embarrassing as it would be talking to your, you know, your like boyfriend or spouse.
yeah, and the thing is like not every person is blessed enough or fortunate enough to have that girlfriend where you can confide in because again,
Right.
people make sex to be such a taboo topic that they don't talk to everyone like any sometimes they just keep it to themselves. And so for Zoella's team to post something like that, let's say someone who doesn't have a girlfriend can see her blog post as, you know, a girl chit chat thing. That I think is also very
Yeah.
healthy as well. Um, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go and tell everyone about like my escapades, like, but I think, but I can understand why Zoella's got a little bit of got a little bit of what's the word
Offended
not
or
no, yeah, I can understand why some of the viewers were not very or the readers were not very perceptive to that. And
yeah.
like I grew up in YouTube as well. Like I started at what 21, and so like I
Hmm.
was still very like you know the cute little Asian girl, which I still think I am sometimes. But but you know when you have that like persona, it it can't die, right? Like for some, like for people, it feels like they don't want to lose that image of you. And it's the same with like Disney stars, where like when they started out, like let's say Miley Cyrus, you know, she started out to be like a goody goody little girl, and then all of a sudden she comes out at 18 to be like a badass alternative rocker kind of girl. People are like, whoa, oh my gosh, she's like going against the
Yeah.
grain, horrible. Like that's what I think is happening to Zoella, is that she had an image, right? And this was contradicting to that image, and people just couldn't swallow it, I feel like.
But see, here's the thing, is that you're allowed to grow up. You know, you are not allowed to be, you don't, like, then you're not growing if you're stuck in the same age as you were. And like, it doesn't make any sense. You know, it's the same thing as like, you know, I grew up watching Disney movies, right? Like I love them and everything, but they also painted a false sense of what the future is like. You think that you'll meet the perfect guy, and then you go and like, you know, you have happily ever after. But you and I both know that that's not the case, you know, like that's not reality. Like they don't tell you all of the stuff about heartaches and heartbreaks and going through several boyfriends or going through, you know, divorce and things like that. Like that's totally unrealistic for people to put they're pretty much putting them on a certain pedestal, and they can't move from that base, and that's just unfair.
And I like, if I can talk like on my personal self, it's like I don't want to be 21 still. Like
no.
Maybe to other people I might have looked like the perfect 21-year-old or whatever, but I don't want to be that same 21-year-old even today, because it's like my worldview was so skewed and so small. I only knew so many things. I was definitely unhappy because, you know, you're living, because you're not sure if you're an adult or still a child, because you don't know where you fit in still at 21. So it's like and Zoella started even younger. I think she started at 17. So it's like,
yeah, I didn't know what age she started.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, was it 17 or maybe 18? But I'm pretty sure she doesn't want to still be that 17 or 18-year-old. And even so, I think 17, 18-year-olds right now, if they are sexually active, if they are coming to you with like actual information, like questions about sex toys, contraceptives, I think me as a mother, I would be very open to answering all those questions without adding shame or embarrassment to the conversation.
Yeah, and honestly, let's be real. There are women who, even like young ladies who have had sex like way younger than 16. Okay, and the fact of the matter is, it's because we don't talk to them like face to face as an adult. Like I feel like once they start having their periods and things like that, becoming a woman, like it's probably the best time to start talking about these things and letting them make the smart choice versus hiding all that stuff. Like I would definitely, you know, I had my sex education in high school, but all they talked about was like periods and everything. Like they don't talk about all the other stuff. And my mom definitely didn't talk to me about these things. Okay. So for me to go into college having such little information that I could use, like I could have made better choices for sure had I had more information on hand. And so, yeah, like I definitely felt like I would have been better off with more information than less. So, I mean, but it's a different time nowadays. We can find information on Google so much easier than we did back then. So I definitely know that I'm sure that a lot of ladies out there are more well equipped with information these days. But it's still different talking to someone who went through that experiences versus reading it online, right? Like I could Google so many information, but every single one is different. And I would just rather have someone to talk to that provides a little bit more insight than that.
Yeah, I mean, even now there's like forums and for all sorts of genres.
Yeah.
And I giggle because I'm still like a kid inside about it. Again, and it goes back to showing that, like, you know, I never had this normal, like not normal, but you know, productive conversation even with my parents. And so now, like when I do talk about, I still giggle because I'm still like, I feel like, okay, my little kid self is coming out again. But I think that would have been nipped in the butt a little bit had I had more conversations about it. And
there's no way the stuff that you and I talk about, there's no way I would talk to my mom and my dad about it. Like that is just so weird. No, that wouldn't fly.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
found my daughter in an egg. That's all
right.
they know.
You
That's all
had a
they need
stork
to
came
know.
by and dropped her off, a sweet
Yeah,
little baby.
yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah,
So
no, they don't want to know any of that stuff, honestly.
yeah,
And I'm fine. I'm fine not having to review anything else.
yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, and you know what? I'm like I'm proud of Zoella for that.
Mhm, mhm.
For her team. And did she make a statement? She
She
said,
did.
right? Yeah. What was her
She
statement?
made a very I don't remember, but I felt like it was well crafted. It was like, an adult way to approach things. Same thing like how she mentioned that, she started at a certain age and so did her audience and they grew up with her. So
Mhm.
there's no way that and she doesn't want to be shamed for talking about stuff that actually is natural.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So
Which
it was well crafted.
okay, but I mean, she wasn't like apologizing for the action, was she? Because I wouldn't want her to
No.
apologize for
No, no,
something
no.
like
She
that.
she
Okay.
did not apologize for it, but I knew that it was something that I definitely wanted to talk a little bit more,
Good.
and also just to shed a little bit,
Okay.
more of our opinions on the matter.
Okay. Good. Because I mean, I didn't know what her state. Well, I knew she made a statement. I didn't know what it was exactly, but I'm glad to know that she
Should we
didn't
pull
like.
it up?
Um, we can.
Yeah,
Cause
I was like, we can pull it up.
oh, I can't. I actually don't know how to do it on this yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, because I have to
We're
clip the
testing
video.
out we're testing out a new platform,
A
which
new
I
platform.
really like.
I know. I love it too. It's so much sleeker. It wasn't
Yeah,
as
it gives us
clunky.
so much options, so many
I
options, and
know.
now you can actually see what I'm doing versus like
Just your
just
beautiful
my
face last
face,
time.
just
But
my
I mean,
face and your
glad.
face.
I'm glad for her. I know she went through some hot waters with the Zoella calendar a couple of years ago.
What happened there?
Um,
I wasn't following for that one.
the calendar was like a Christmas advent calendar that she teamed up with. I think it was maybe Boots, the store, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, and apparently it was like 60 euros. Well, not euros, I'm sorry, 60 pounds.
Yeah, that's
And
expensive.
yeah, I know it was 60 pounds, but like there was like a bunch of stuff that looked like it would have came from like the Dollar Tree.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so it was, people were just calling her money hungry and things like that, which at this day and age, like if you're on YouTube, if you're an influencer, if you're putting any content online, we're not money hungry as much as like having an extra source of income is kind of like nice. And I think shaming people for wanting to make money and shaming people for not having money is like money in itself, like shouldn't be something that you shame people for having or lack of, I guess, or
I
wanting to make.
agree.
Yeah, and so I think, back maybe in 2017 was this happened. No, 2018 when all this kind of went down. Yeah, she really got shamed for it, and maybe yeah, she should have put better products to be honest. But to be calling her a money hungry whatever, I don't think that's fair necessarily in
Yeah.
comparison to
Or
other
even
makeup stuff.
or even like not at $60 price
Yeah,
range. Like
yeah.
that seems a little steep for an advent calendar.
See, but the thing is, I don't think she had a say in how the things are priced,
But
right?
this
Because
is with Boots. Like they're a pharmacy, like a regular pharmacy in London. It's not like they're high scale. So for them to price at $60, yeah,
I don't know if it's Boots. It could be Boots or it could be another one that's kind of like Sephora like. Was it Boots? I
I
don't know.
see.
But still $60 for an advent calendar is still quite
Yeah, that's
up
kind of
there.
steep.
But I'm also seeing like $300-$400 whatchamacallit, advent calendars that are out there. There are just candles as well, which I'm not judging, but I wouldn't buy for myself.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I don't know if you wanted to support an influencer, like it doesn't. I mean, who am I to say like where you put your money, right?
I
Um,
made advent calendars for $10, so I'm sorry. Although the items in it were probably a little bit more, but still overall, I wouldn't say we spent more that much. Like maybe 30, I would say tops.
uh-huh. Oh, I saw the advent calendars that you did on TikTok. It was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cute. I was like, oh, I'm gonna so do that next
Yeah,
in the
totally do that. It's easy. You know you can do it. Like,
I know. And I
yeah.
mean, it looks like cups, right? They're cups.
Yeah, it was the ice cream. I will send you all the links, but it was like ice cream cups, tissue paper. I got these like little cute I forgot what they were called, but there were numbers that were like a coin, so you put in each one. And I
Uh-huh.
added tissue paper in the cup so that it doesn't keep like bouncing around.
Uh-huh.
And then those numbers are random, but there were specific ones. Like if I knew that I wrote down all the gifts, so if I knew that I wanted to give it on a specific date, then I would make sure that that number actually corresponds to the same day. Yeah, it was so super easy.
Oh, it's really cute. I need to put that on
Yeah,
my holiday to do because I'm already prepping for Christmas
totally. Yeah, yeah, I did.
2021.
I did it. It took me like maybe just to plan the gifts. I wrote them all out, but yeah, it took me some time to like plan it out.
Do you want to touch a little bit on like influencer products and stuff since
Sure,
we're
I
already
think that's a good
talking about
segue.
yeah.
The tea nowadays, and it's kind of just mind-boggling how some of these gurus who are putting out products, I don't understand what the process is, but I would assume that at the end of that would be quality check, right? Like you would go and actually do a quality check on these items to go out before, before it gets into the hands of like influencers, or even like you yourself would send these out and check the products. For one, the one before this that just happened recently was with Nikita and her products, where like she sent out to influencers, and they found mold in her setting spray, which I find that's quite odd. She said that it only happened to a certain batch, but I don't think that that's the case.
Wait, hold on. We
And
have to
then
make sure that we don't actually say that it's mold. People are claiming that it's
okay,
mold, but
so they're
she,
claiming
yeah, but she made a statement and said that it was like crystallized formula or something that was
okay,
floating.
something was floating in there. So people
Yeah.
were thinking that it was mold. We don't know what it is. I don't have the product, so I can't, know for sure. But yeah, people were up in arms about it. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to count my stitches. And then, so there's that. Plus, the latest that came out was with Jaclyn Hill, and
Yeah.
she went through a huge scandal, maybe, I don't know,
Lipstick
2
gate.
years ago with her
Lipstick
lipstick
gate.
that had hair in it, like hair, like, or a little fuzzy thing that was at the on the lipstick. So she went through that, and I don't think that she lived it out. And apparently, she's been quiet for so long until recently, she decided for Valentine's Day to launch a mystery box, several different mystery boxes of different products, and pricing it, but not telling anyone what's in the boxes. They just have different names that you kind of just assumed what they were, but other people just was not happy about it because they're like, look, you didn't have the best of reputation coming out with these products, and then you're like coming out with at least the listing product, and then now you're coming out with mystery boxes that we don't know what's in it, we don't know what the quality is, we don't know what the swatch is, and you expect us to believe you. So
The pricing on those boxes?
they were like $25 each, with the biggest one that was 60, and I'm assuming that's like
Okay.
probably a lot more. They're reasonably priced, I would say,
Yeah.
but to make it a mystery, I don't think that would have been very smart, especially with her reputation nowadays.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, here's the thing with Jaclyn. Okay, so Lipstick Gate happened.
Mhm,
She was offline for a little bit, and then I think
mhm.
she did come back and she did launch another product, and I think it was her highlighter product
Oh,
or
that's
her
right. There
own.
was
Yeah,
mhm.
and that actually did. I heard it did really well, which is funny
Okay,
because people are more likely to complain, like write a bad review, than they are to write a good review. That's just
that's
naturally
true.
right how like customer service and stuff works. So
Yeah.
let's give her some props for her good highlighter there. But the thing with her is that she does go missing every now and then she comes back to promote a product, which I can understand stand because when she was getting so much backlash, like on she actually was probably one of the first like beauty gurus that a lot of the drama channel really wanted to discuss
Bring
constantly,
down.
yeah, and she was the one where people like analyzed her affiliate links, and people made aware that that's an affiliate link, and in between Lipstick Gate and her highlighter, I think she did also came out with the palette with Morphe, which it's a whole nother like controversy over there. I agree with you with the reputation of Lipstick Gate, and maybe just that one good highlighter. It's still not enough to do a mystery box, and I think the naming was really cute. Love is Blind, and so it was like a mystery box because Love is Blind. But again, it's ballsy. I think that's the word I can say. It's ballsy.
Yeah.
Um, I feel bad for her because I could see some of the mental toll that has been taken on her because of the whole lipstick thing. But at the same time, it's like, for me, like whenever I have like a mental thing, I just get offline. I don't force myself to make content. And when I feel good, I'll come back and I'll make content. But other than that, like I can't. I just I get it, but and at the same time, I think she's wealthy enough and maybe self-made enough that she doesn't have to continue to produce online content anymore.
What
She has her,
what would her income, her streaming income be then if she doesn't have products, like if she doesn't push products?
no, well, I meant like push like YouTube videos, right? But if she does have her own brand, I figured that she should focus on the Jaclyn Hill brand and maybe use other influencer to promote it. She doesn't have to do it. Does that make sense? She can
Yeah.
be like no longer she doesn't have to be she's the face of her brand, of course, but she doesn't have to be the content creator, the influencer of her brand. Does that make sense?
I don't think that she's the only one that's coming up with these ideas, because
Okay.
at least from her videos, it sounded as if, because she came on to like kind of support what the marketing thing was doing, and she's just like, at first I thought it was weird, like if you thought it was weird, then
Oh,
if you came up with it, then that doesn't make any sense. So I think she does work with the marketing team to come up with these things, um,
okay.
to help launch it. Like at some point, especially at her like level and everything, you can't do everything yourself.
No.
You definitely have people like be helping you in the background, and to get these products going and things like that. So yeah,
But here's the thing, though. It's her brand. It's her company. So she should have a say in the marketing department on how she
yeah,
wants it to be done. So, like, if
yeah.
her marketing team is saying, hey, I don't care if I'm pretty sure they're not saying that, but they're like, hey, I think you should really get on your channel and do this. And if you don't want to, then you could be like, no, I don't like that idea. I would prefer you reach out to other influencers and I want to just make better products, So I think that's where I don't know. Sometimes you don't have to be the face of your product. That is what I'm saying, even though it is your brand. And it's okay to have like other people kind of hop on YouTube and push the product, I guess, because
Yeah.
it looks like the content creating aspect of it is taking a toll on her. And because it does take a toll on her, I don't think it is healthy for her to have the mental capacity to focus on her product, something that she actually really enjoys and loves doing. So
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. I think she's struggling with quite a bit of mental issues, I would say. Like I know that she was at least have some anxiety issues, and yeah, I don't I, I don't know. It's hard to say like what's
we
going on, but I
well we
don't
can
think that
do
she's, yeah.
we can I mean we can empathize because everyone has something tough going on in their lives, and
Mhm.
obviously panorama as well, but we can also
Mhm.
be objective about how businesses are done, because at the end of the
Mhm.
day it's just ABCDE, you plug and chug and go, right? And unfortunately sometimes businesses don't really care about your emotional or mental health or well-being, but if that's the case and you own the business, I think the great thing about owning your own brand is that you can make the call. And I
Yeah.
think she should make the call to take care of herself and just focus on the product. You know, I'm pretty sure she'll probably have great products if she does that and not so much the social media part of it.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause she's beyond social media at this
From
point.
what I can tell, that she's been taking quite a break, a few breaks
Yeah.
from at least the drama world, because no stories were on her until recently. So
Well, that's because she doesn't post, and when she does post, that's
it's
when
about
people
product
like,
posting.
yeah. And then when she does post, like all the drama channels like jump on her right away too. So it's like I think that's the reason why it feels. Can you hear the construction?
I do hear someone shouting.
Oh, okay.
Who
Um,
is that? Oh,
oh no, it's just the construction that's going on. They're tearing down the building. But
okay.
it's okay. I'm mic'd up, so hopefully it'll catch better audio on my mic, anyways.
Yeah, I
So
hear you fine.
okay. But yeah, I just, I think she's no longer an influencer. She's a brand now, and by being a brand, she has more power, I feel like, and she doesn't have to subject herself to the social aspect of it. So that's that. But I think since we were just talking about Nikita Dragun,
Yeah.
I hop back on with Nikita here. And she's been in hot waters for like the past year, and obviously the beginning of this year too, for all of her super spreader parties. Did you see the? I saw the Instagram video of her, like the entry to her party was like a door, but like of a vagina.
Is it really?
Yeah, and I mean, it's Nikita. She's extra. She does all of her thing. Good on her. But there's being extra, and then there's being like completely having a disregard for what is going on, like right now. So you know what? I did not know that she was 50% Vietnamese. Did you know that?
I thought she was Vietnamese. I didn't know she was 50%. I thought she was
Yeah.
full.
No. She's 50. I think she's Hispanic or Latina, the other
Oh,
50.
no way. Okay,
Mhm.
I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
I
very
mean,
exotic looking.
yeah, and she's really beautiful. I mean, she
Beautiful.
does get a lot of flack for black fishing, because her skin tone like
Mm.
changes all the time. And I mean, like, I'm sure Mel knows this better than I do because she's a photographer. You can, you know, play with lighting quite a bit. But that that's up for debate for most people, so I'm not going to touch too much into that. But I was really like I was reading an article about her birthday party, and people mentioned that she was Vietnamese, and I had no idea.
Mhm.
So, but I mean, her party, like, there was a lot of people. They were there. They weren't wearing masks. She really wanted to celebrate her birthday because for her, being transgender, her birthday means a lot to her, which I completely and totally understand.
Wait,
To the
so
extent I can.
was this her actual birthday, or was this a birthday that she chose for when she became transgender, or
Well,
like when her?
it's her actual birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's her actual birthday, but um, it was just like a little statement that she made. Um,
Mm.
she also claimed that there was a lot of rapid testings for the people that showed up at the party, but doesn't it like take 30 minutes to get the result of that test?
Yeah,
So
it takes 25 minutes, and those rapid tests are not 100% effective. They're probably 60, I want to say 60%. And also, you kind of don't want to have people take the rapid test right as they get to the door, because sometimes they say that you need to actually have like a few days showing, if you had like some symptoms, then you take it, because otherwise they won't show up on the test.
well,
So for that to be effective, it was not effective to have people have the test at the door.
there's that, and then there's also you're crowding a bunch of people in front of the door to take the test. It's still a crowd, regardless. So
And they weren't wearing masks.
yeah, so I think the whole it's just whatever at this point. And then obviously the Patrick Star and Tana Mojo clip was floating
Oh my
around, and
gosh.
I mean, there's so many things there that I need to unpack, but the first one is Tana going like, "What about it?" Like, as if she's mocking the people who are watching this. Like, look, I know this is what I'm doing, but I don't care. And obviously, Patrick Starr hasn't ever been an issue, but I don't know what's going on with him lately. I've heard he's kind of trying to hop back in and be a part of the drama or something. Because I didn't think he would be someone that hangs out with Tana. So I was really
I don't follow any of them, so I don't know. I've stopped following a lot of them only because I didn't really care for the drama all that much.
yeah,
Like, I'm just like, you were interesting to watch at first because you
yeah.
had something, some skills to show, but when it becomes like too dramatic, too much drama in your life, then I'm just tuning off, which is
Yeah,
funny because now we're talking about it.
yeah. I mean, when the drama overshadows your eyeshadow,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, am I watching an eyeshadow tutorial here or am I hearing about all the shenanigans? Well,
Yeah.
now, I mean, obviously, because there's honestly there's that on YouTube, like it's all the drama and stuff. But it was just that video clip. It's going around, and it's just like there's a lot there. I think the whole I don't care for what people's sexual preferences are. I think it's just the fact that they're like not in a committed relationship. Maybe they are. Who knows? I don't know. But like it's just the like there's this virus going around. And it's the making out, and then the what about it? And it's just there's just that disregard that is very
Yeah.
hard for me to
Yeah.
even be like a little. I can't even make an excuse for them at this point. And I'm usually a very like pretty neutral, open-minded person. Like, people make choices because of this and that, but this is very hard for me to defend, and I don't think I can, and you know what the thing is, like Nikita went to a dinner party after that, the night after. So then like whatever she might have could have possibly caught, she probably gave it to someone like
Oh,
at her dinner
no.
party. Yeah. So it's like, it's, and she's been doing this long before. Like last year I think she got caught at another party, and then she kind of made a statement, and then she came out and was like, well, I'm gonna wear a face shield, which okay, I guess you're making an effort, but then after that it's like you don't really see her actually making more of an effort after being called out. But Nikita is actually one of those people that I'm really surprised hasn't actually been canceled, because remember when the whole Jeffree Star, Manny MUA, Laura Lee debacle went down? All those people are like intertwined, which is crazy to me. Nikita kind of just like scurried away like unscathed, and so it'll be
How
interesting
did that
when
happen?
I don't know. Like I think she was smart about it. She was just like, you know what? I'm not going to make a statement. And then, Laura Lee, I do want to, my heart goes out to her because her mom just passed away,
Oh,
from
sorry to hear
COVID,
that.
from
Oh, are
COVID.
you serious?
Yeah. So
Oh,
it's, and so Laura came out with that crying video, the crying apology, which is probably like YouTube's most first horrible apology, I guess is what people are calling it.
it was just
And
not genuine.
yeah, it's just not good. And I think Nikita was smart in that drama by not saying anything, because she didn't say very much. She just let everyone else do all the apologizing and write all the stuff. She kind of just went on her way and did her thing. So
I think she did. I thought she did apologize. She didn't put a video out, but I know she
no.
addressed it somewhere on Twitter.
And she was smart. I think she did it on Instagram, where she addressed it once and
Oh,
was
okay.
like done. And I think
Yeah.
that's how you get away, not get away, but that's how you can calm the waters a little bit. It's just by making your statement and then just letting it go. I think what happens is that, emotions do get wrapped up where you make the apology and then people keep saying, oh, well, you're not genuine. And then, influencers or YouTubers would come back and be like, well, I apologize and you still don't believe me. What more do you want? So then like that back and forth keeps happening. I think, again, you clarify what you need to do. You stop social media, get off for a little bit, or you clarify it and then you just continue to make a ton of videos, not addressing it, just completely like ignoring it. And that kind of leads me to, that's what Jeffree Star is doing right now. He literally made a video that was like, I'm getting canceled, but here I am, going on a $200,000 shopping spree. And Nikita's wig guy, I think for her birthday or for another event was actually Jay.
Oh, really? I didn't think she
Yeah.
wore wigs. Oh, yeah, she does. Okay.
Yeah. And she was still, supporting Jay after the whole thing with Trisha, and it's like it's coming around full circle, Mel.
Well, I mean, I
Um,
guess I'm glad to at least hear, even though Jay is such a not the most nicest person out there, like I'm glad at least he's not completely out of income
yeah.
during this whole, time.
You can be a horrible human being, but I would never want you to be homeless or starving
Right.
at the end of the day, right? Like if you can make an
Right.
income, great. That's one person that we don't have to worry about surviving, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, I watched the whole panorama spreading thing, and do you know D'Angelo Wallace?
No.
Have you heard of his name? So he
No.
did a really long couple of series on Shane, Tati, and Jeffree Star, which is really good, but they're like an hour long each. So if you have 3 hours to spare one day or whatever, it's really, really good. And that's how he blew up. He recently did a 1 hour long like video on influencers and celebrities not taking the panorama seriously, and he was just talking about how like they're so privileged and using their wealth to kind of just get away with not wearing masks, not social distancing. So it's really good. He goes into depth about problematic people on social media. And so I just watched that, and it just, I don't know. It's just sad. They're influencers, right? Like we have influence.
Which means that they should set a good example. If you don't want to be influencers, why the heck did you, get into this field in the first place?
Yeah, and again, it just comes down to they want the party, they want the lifestyle, they want the money, but they don't want the responsibility of
Ugh.
being a role model, which you can't not want,
Yeah, it's part of the package.
yeah. So, I mean, that's the reason why, like, when I speak, I try to be very careful, not because not that like I'm not trying to speak the truth, but I also don't want to ostracize or
Hmm.
segregate or anything or leave anyone out in a way. But when you have a following, you do have a sense of responsibility, and I won't scoff at people when they're trying to have a small family gathering because their grandma turned 75 or something, but you also don't have to post it on social media, right?
Yeah, but then again, there's just so many stories out there. It's just not safe at all. And if you really do care about that grandma, you stay away
Exactly.
and you do a
Exactly.
virtual celebration. And I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. People
I
are
mean,
are certain age group that cannot be exposed to this.
I will feel some kind of way about it. I won't judge you for it, but
Mm,
like, I mean, obviously I'm going to be like, okay, I probably wouldn't do it. I'm not going to judge you for it, because again, I feel like judging is like trying to shame people, which I don't know. I don't know. I'm just half and half on that.
hmm.
But again, if you really do love that your grandmother and you really want to celebrate her 75th, like there's different ways to do it. Um, and I don't know. It's a very interesting time that we live in. Even like with my daughter, every time we go anywhere now, she immediately like tilt her head in because she knows she has to get her temperature checked.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cute.
It's cute, but it's also like really sad because,
It
that's
is
not some,
sad.
yeah, it's not something that she used to do before, but now every single time, if we ever had to go to like a pediatrician visit, she tilts her head because she knows that's the first thing she has to do. So
Oh,
we live in a very, very different world now. And I think
yeah.
seeing these influencers and celebrities not being able to use their money and their clout to get what they want is, in a way, for me, deep down is like, like, let's see who's really a good celebrity or a good influencer.
Hmm.
But and they're also young too, so maybe that could be, I don't know, they're 25 in their early 20s. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, you can only blame age. after a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
But if anything at all, you have to take responsibility too,
Yeah.
at any age. It's not just, yeah, you were young. Same thing, like, what about those people who at 16 or even less, start committing crimes at an age. Like, I've heard stories of a little boy that, accidentally shot his sister, or maybe not, I mean, accidentally, I don't remember. But there was just so many, like, stories out there. And some of them get tried as, like, I think they might be
As an
tried as
adult.
adults. Maybe, I'm not sure. But that's just the sad point of it, is that,
Yeah.
yes, we make mistakes as when we're young, but if you keep making the same mistakes, then it's not accidental, it's intentional,
That's
right?
true. That's
So you
yeah.
cannot
Yeah.
keep blaming young age. I was like, I'm sorry, you have to learn at some point.
That's true.
Yeah, you have to learn at some point. You have to learn to take responsibility and that sort of thing. So no, I don't think it's wise to use age and continue to use age as an excuse.
You know what I think is interesting is that like when these parties happen, like the cops would come and stuff, and it's like they're wasting resources because cops right
Yeah,
now they have a lot on their plate as well, and
yeah.
they're wasting the state resources, and like I know some of them got fined for what, 2 grand, $2,000. That's, I'm not saying it's nothing, but I'm just saying in the scale of what these influencers and celebrities are making, you should definitely find them a lot more. Like for every person that's beyond the 6 people limit, like should be two
Yeah.
thousand dollars, right? And
Mm.
I don't know what I think for us in Texas. So when it first came out, like I heard that, oh, it was 1,500. It was above six people.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I know LA has a huge problem right now. So
I didn't know LA was having a big problem. Like,
yeah,
um,
a huge super spreader problem. And here's the thing is that like when Nikita was showing the rapid tests, they were still brand new in their packaging, so she wasn't showing if they were negative or not. So we don't even know if the test came
yeah,
back
what the
negative or
results
positive.
are.
Yeah. So like, was that just it's not a PR stunt? Is I guess the word that I can the statement I can come up with. So I don't know. It's
Well, okay, so this could be very, like, insensitive. I'm
mhm,
just gonna put it out there. But honestly, if these people are gonna continue to do these type of make these type of choices, then they would have to suffer the consequences. It is out of you and my hands.
yeah,
What they do, like, this is their life. They made the choice. Then it's the bed that they live in. If she is okay knowing that, the super spreader parties are causing more COVID cases to go up and potentially deaths, then that's on her conscience, right?
yeah.
Like, and maybe
But I don't think they have consciences, to be honest.
everyone has some kind of conscience. And at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, I feel like every person has, like, a certain percentage
Mhm,
of good and bad deeds that they do in their life. So I don't know.
mhm.
I would rather have more percentage of good deeds than bad deeds.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the end of the day, I would say that they would have to live with those choices they make, good or
Yeah, but
bad.
it's just unfortunate that those choices and consequences doesn't only affect them.
Would Yeah,
It
right.
affects the people around them. That's what sucks about it. And I think that's the reason why so many people are upset about it, right? It's like
Yeah.
I mean, I can choose to drive recklessly on a rural street and whatever, that's like on me. But if I choose to
Yeah.
drive recklessly in the middle of metropolis, New York, like that is a different choice, right? So I at this point, you know what it is? We need to stop watching them. We need to stop following them, and we need to stop buying their products because how they're going to stop those actions. It comes down to money. It really is.
Yeah, there's actually, I don't know if you actually saw a TikTok video going out, but it was one about, like, stop delete or something like that and unfollow them.
Oh, yeah,
Because if they don't have that following backing,
yeah,
because they get paid for these, like, followers, how many people that's on. Then it's all about numbers. They get paid for
yeah.
these. So if people unfollow them, then they don't have any backing to get
Mhm.
deals. I don't want this to be the choice that people
Yeah.
make, but if this is how they will learn their lesson and not use their followers, um I don't know, as
Well,
like yeah, I don't know. I think
well,
that
I know that. Okay, so social media currency is very real. Like how I spend my time to watch whatever I want or whatever entertainment that I want is time that I'm willing to give up to support that influencer. So,
mhm,
instead of using that time to watch these people, you can use it to support someone else who's a little bit
totally,
more positive or more engaging
totally.
or right.
Hence
The
the reason hence the reason why I don't subscribe to any of these any of their channels. Because
Yeah,
for one, I just don't like the drama that they cause.
yeah,
I like to subscribe to more homelier, more down to earth YouTubers. Like I've actually been subscribing to more like home renovations, like or home DIYers, because those people like they interest me, and they just seem so much more down to earth and just much more friendlier sense and less the drama of it all.
yeah. And I well, it's also you watch you saw Parks and Rec, right?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Well, Nick Offerman, Ron Swanson,
Mhm.
he yeah he I think there was a quote where he says that like when people make things, even if they fail at making things, whether it's crafting or home renovations, it every time you make something or attempt to make something, it releases like a happy um like serotonin or
Endorphins?
endorphins, yeah, in your brain, which makes
Oh,
you more of an optimistic, happy person, in turn making you less
oh,
toxic and problematic, right?
totally.
So, so
I
yeah,
love yeah, I love
so,
creating things with my hands, and same to you too.
yeah,
And I've always considered myself more of the optimistic person than a
yeah.
pessimist.
Exactly. So, if you want to feel good or if you want,
Mhm.
you can watch people who make things because it's very inspiring. Of course, you can also make things on your own. And that's what we're doing here. And I think it helps balance out the drama. I think talking about the shenanigans is important because come on,
Yeah,
like, at the end of the day, these people do affect our lives in some way.
yeah.
How they move the media in some way. Like Tana Mojo with her OnlyFans voting thing. That's voters fraud, regardless of
I don't
you know.
yeah, I didn't hear about that.
Well, she was just saying that if you voted, oh, if you can prove to me that you voted for Biden, then I will send you nudes or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and like she ended up getting a lot of money for doing that. So people had to
Oh my
pay
god.
her OnlyFans. So it's things like that. Like it moves our world. And so um I think when we talk about it, I think we just want to share like how we would take the
Yes. How we
how
see the
we would
situation.
yeah, and how we would come at it like
Yep.
in our own personal lives. Because at the end of the day, like I'm pretty like drama free and unproblematic. Like I don't like
Same.
to even though I'm probably like right having this channel is probably bringing in a lot of drama on itself. But you try to live a very chill and just you know
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. It's been a lot this past week, I feel like. What do you
It
think?
has been quite tea-filled tea-filled week.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And I didn't know like which story I wanted to listen to, and it was a lot. And it's hard because you don't want to support the behaviors, but then it's like, well, we are doing this channel, so I kind of have to see something really quick in case I
yeah.
don't want to misspeak.
I didn't know if you wanted to touch base on this, but I mean, feel free to cut it out if you want to. But like, I did want to talk about how they were talking about how Nikita was talking to an 18-year-old.
Oh yes.
I don't know if you wanted to talk about that, but
Yeah,
I
we can touch
actually
on it.
find, huh? Yeah, we can touch on it. Like, I actually find that very um what's that called? What's that called? Where it's like two-sided, like
Double
where it's
standard.
like double standards. Sometimes
Yeah.
my brain doesn't get
I know.
get
It's
that
because we're
faster. Okay.
crafting. It's 'cause we're
Yeah, I know.
crafting.
So I find that very double standards. Okay, for one, first of all, it's not like she committed any crime. Second, there are plenty of people out there that do date like with a wide age gap. And why that doesn't matter that it's a girl that's like talking to an 18-year-old. Would people see it the same way but if a like a 25-year-old guy talks to an 18-year-old? How do you think how do you feel about that?
I do know that right now on YouTube, if you're under 18 and someone that's above 18 is talking to you, it's automatically like they will peg you with the P word right away, which
No,
I
they
don't
weren't,
think
were
is,
they?
yeah, they would, which I don't think is fair, by the way.
Well, the guy's 18, so how is that fair?
The problem is she has talked to him before he was 18, and the tweet that she sent out was,
Oh,
"Hey, are you 18 yet?" And it's
I
not,
see.
yeah, it's not P word behavior, but
Mhm.
it is kind of like morally, am I, like that's what it is,
Okay,
kind of for me.
so
That's all.
that's yeah,
Yeah,
that I
but
didn't
yeah,
know. I didn't know
yeah.
that she was talking to him pre-18.
Yeah, and I mean we can like so Trisha used to date Jason Nash and did the vlog squad thing, and one of the guys in there was dating a 17-year-old and he was 24 at the time, and that came out and it
Oh,
was kind of like a big, oh well, this is not okay. Same with like the Onision stuff. He is 30 something now, but I think even like in his late 20s, in his early 30s, he was talking to like 17, 18-year olds or something like that. So it's, I don't think it's a double standard there as much as like, okay, if it's a girl who's doing this to anyone that's underage, that's a problem. It's questionable.
but
Questionable.
okay, so it is questionable, but you think about it, she is still she is still trying to ask that question,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
which is fine, which is
Before
fine.
doing
Yeah,
anything, she made sure that she is doing something legal. I would at least give her that credit.
that's true. That's true. Yeah,
So,
I did not actually think of it that way. That's fair.
yeah,
I think the only issue that people had was that, well, she hung out with him before he was 18. So how do we know that something didn't happen before he was 18? And
we
also, how do we
don't.
know? Yeah. Also, how do we know that she didn't like quote unquote groomed him before he was 18? So there's that too. It's
I don't know.
you know what?
First of all, if someone is going to ask you if you're 18 yet, what difference does it make? Like you would think that if you started grooming this person from like day, well, I don't know, when he was started 17, if you started grooming that person, then you would think that she would know when his birthday is.
That's
So
also true.
the fact of the matter that she asked when his birthday was means
Oh,
that
that's
she
also
does not
true.
talk to him all that much, you know? Like, because if you know this person well enough, you will know their birthday. So
Yeah.
no, I don't think that they were in constant contact. I think that, you know, maybe one reached out or another reached out. Maybe she decided to reach out to him because she was thinking of him, and then, you know, just asked to, and also to invite him to the birthday party, right?
And you know what
That
though?
is probably what
Yeah, yeah,
happened.
that's probably what it is. It's still like, because they're having a party, there's alcohol or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, you might have to be 18. And honestly, it could just be like it's just a funny like tweet, like you 18 yet?
Yeah.
Like
But
again,
it's always misconstrued when it's taken out of context. We don't know what the whole
yeah,
conversation like led up
yeah.
to that. I am actually surprised also to find out who gave that screenshot. The only people that has access to it is the person's account. Did he provide that? Like, did someone hack his account?
I thought it was just a tweet. Like I thought she retweeted him or something.
Oh, I
Like
thought
she
it was
mentioned him in a
a direct
tweet.
message, a
No,
DM.
no, no. I think it was just like a tweet. Like she literally
I
tweeted out
see.
publicly. So the fact that she did like goes to
See,
show
there was
that
nothing
it's,
to hide.
yeah, there's nothing to hide. I think people are definitely upset because it's not that joke is not funny.
Cares what they are going through. And
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a very toxic environment if you think about it that way.
yeah. I just even good publicity. I'm just like, nope, I'm fine. Just gonna sit in my little corner here and make cherry blossoms, and just leave me
I'm
alone.
excited to see. I'm excited to see how your cherry blossoms come together.
I know. So I got some of the branches here, like I don't know if you can see it.
Cute. Mm-hmm.
Um, so I have quite a lot of them here, and I just need to stick it on the branch that fell off of the tree that's in the front of my house.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And
So
you're
I'm
just gonna hang it on like a string or something?
no, I'm wrapping it with
Oh.
yeah, with like floral tape, and it's gonna be like an actual tree almost. It's gonna look like a
Oh,
big. Yeah.
cute.
So why
Where
I wanted to
where are
do
you
this,
gonna
I
put
don't
it?
know.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh,
where are you gonna put it?
that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't know. Like all of a sudden it came to me. I was like, I need to make this, and then now I don't know
Yeah,
where I'm gonna put it and what I'm gonna do with it. So we'll see. We'll figure it out.
yeah.
All right.
Because
So
you could always hang it.
that's true. I could. I could. So I guess that's pretty much all of what happened this week, right?
Yeah, that was a lot to go through.
It it was a lot, yeah. And man, I think once we get better at this, we'll probably start live streaming because we're using
Mhm.
StreamYard, and it seems to be very, very, very
I
nice
like
and quick.
it.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like we're not having a lot of like internet problems or anything.
No, I feel like we're
Um,
streaming pretty nicely.
yeah, so hopefully we're gonna be doing more of these and then doing it like live, more crafting stuff, maybe a mukbang on our very first live. That would be really
Yeah,
fun.
I think it'll be nice to chit chat and see everyone chatting along.
Yeah, and then like sharing, your thoughts about everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to find us, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter. I haven't really been active on Twitter. I've just been using it to lurk other accounts. I get the hot deets. Um, and on Instagram, there's like 2 posts. TikTok, we're still kind of figuring out what we want to do there, but it's
Yeah.
all of our socials down there along with our separate socials accounts if you want to check those out. And what else? I think that's
I forgot to mention before is that, the people that we're talking about here, please do not spread hate or whatnot. This is basically based just on our opinions, and we're just chit-chatting like two girls talking and crafting. So do not send hate over there. If you have any comments, just comment below, and then we'll get to
yeah,
them when we get to them, when we can, so,
yeah.
but yeah, but always
It's,
remember that
oh yeah.
no matter the tea.
Don't overstep other people's boundaries. All right.
This
Bye.
was fun. Bye.
Bye.